Intercontinental Startup Battle. Now I pass a word to Alexander C. and
Am I on? Kazakhstan.
And every month, we hold investors club meetings in the dinner format where investors can network, discuss their success stories, and syndicate for opportunities. And at last, but not least, in the December of 2016, we started a startup show, You Will Not Succeed, where entrepreneurs must prove the opposite to the board of experts. 3 episodes, and you can find them on YouTube and Facebook. Our big idea may not be so obvious to an outside observer, so today I'm disclosing it publicly. Our dream is to build a crowd incubator, the ecosystem where anyone could start a business. And everything they need: investors, mentors, advisors, team members, and much, much more. And we already have a marketplace where you can find professionals who offer their services in exchange for money or equity. And in every city with more than 1 million for a business partner who's ready to invest his time and money and network and making business with us. So if anybody is interested in this opportunity, please come up to me later and we'll discuss it. And now I would like to pass a word to our event director, Julia, and she will tell us more about startup battles and today's event.
Thank you, Alexander. Once upon a time, we have decided to start a series of events. We call Startup. To skilled and giving out of course, startup battle isn't battle with swords. Business format event for players in the venture capital space, where startups are competing for the attention from investors. We held more than 80 startup battles so far. It took place on regular basis in Georgia, Kazakhstan, Belarus, Russia, Poland, and Ukraine. And now we're proud to turn a new page, our first, but not last, battle in USA. I would like to point out that we wouldn't be able to make this event happen without our esteemed partner, Hack Temple, and its team and great sound. Let me tell you what to expect today. Our event will be divided in 2 parts. Firstly, panel discussion with true sharks of investment business and so-called old-timers of startup community. They will share their experience with young entrepreneurs. After a little, we will be listening the pitches of entrepreneurs. Each presenter will have 3 minutes for pitch, which will be followed by 3 minutes of Q&A and recommendations from experts. Now, after the pitches, we will know the winner of today's startup battle. It will be based on the experts' online voting. And today we have a special to our traditional event format. During the break, we will be very interactive. And at the end of event, also. It will be led by mindfulness expert and CEO BeAware, Anastasia Green. She promised to hack our mind and kick off the networking part of event. We'll see, but now I'd like to present our experts. Take Mitchell Wenstock. PA Stas Hirman, managing partner of Tech. Alexey Ilyich, principal data architect at Tesla. Shou Chen, investment. You are here. Stolarov, investment director at Julian Zegelman, managing partner of Welton Zegelman Partner Development Partners. co-founder of Acquired.io. So now the first part of our event, and I pass a word to Alexander Soroka. Yeah, probably we without microphones, okay?
Is it work? Work. Cool. Guys, I understand that many of the questions which I'll ask you, you have probably answered 1,000 of times before. But our entrepreneurs here for the first time, so pardon me. So my first question is it true that venture capital funds which are located in Silicon Valley don't invest in startups which are not located in Silicon Valley? Are there exclusions, or can you give some examples and explain why?
Well, I guess Almaz would be a perfect exclusion. We've invested in 35 companies. We invested out of 2 funds. All of our companies, without exception, have significant presence. Usually it's the primary presence somewhere in Eastern Europe, as far west as Prague and Czech Republic, as far east as Vladivostok. About 8 companies with Ukrainian R&D, about 7 or 8 with Russian R&D, and everything else, from Estonia to places like Poland and Belarus. So there are exclusions. Furthermore, we've invested or co-invested, or other people invested with us, and when I say other people, I mean other venture funds, invested with us in our portfolio companies. These are funds like Bessemer, Greylock, Intel Capital, Cisco as a corporate, Foundry Group. I mean, I can probably name a dozen or so firms that did it. I think it's important to understand then, when we say a company from outside of the US, the real distinction is not so much where the company comes from. It's the target market that the company goes after. I would probably agree with you if you say that American investors are generally not interested in making bets on domestic markets, however large they are. Let's say Russia is the largest economy in that region, but that entire region probably consumes about $2 billion worth of enterprise software. The US, on the other hand, the US market for enterprise software is about $90 billion. So people are generally interested in large markets, but if you have a startup that comes from that region, but yet solves a fundamental problem that is applicable to the global market or to the North American IT market, you'll find investor attention.
Actually, it's a very interesting question, and yes, there is an urban legend that Silicon Valley invests in Silicon Valley, and we just recently published a blog. We make analysis of, you're probably familiar with Crunchbase. It's probably most comprehensive registry of the deals. And just to give you a few numbers, apparently if you look on the early stage companies, Silicon Valley investors, 44% of the deals, actually investments in early stage companies with headquarters outside of Silicon Valley. Certainly it's not represent dollar sign, and dollar sign actually only approximately 20% of the dollars of Silicon Valley investors going outside of Silicon Valley. But in terms of deals, as I said, 44%. If you take later stage, just to read, it's 34% of the later stage deals of Silicon Valley investors going into companies with headquarters somewhere else. It's a good news. Bad news that out of this 44%, only about 15% going outside of United States. So United States also very big, and virtually, again, if you're talking about East Europe, it's probably a fraction of the percent of the deals going from total deals. But, you know, it just starts. Probably over years it will change. And actually we see these changes in our conference. Maybe Anna could mention.
So I'll talk a little bit about TC Ventures specific, and for us, we do not invest in companies that are based outside of Silicon Valley. We specifically invest in companies here in the Silicon Valley, but we love companies, we love founders that come to the Silicon Valley from outside of Silicon Valley, especially if they've done something in their native country and achieved some sort of success. And then they came over to the Silicon Valley either through Stanford or directly to set up a business or to grow their business and scale it, and there is no better place than Silicon Valley. So our founders come from all over, from India, from China, from Russia, from what else? From Israel, from New Zealand, but they all are eventually based here in the Valley.
I think you guys have already heard really great points from a VC's perspective. So I thought it might be interesting to kind of tackle this question from a slightly different perspective, which is, as an entrepreneur, what should you be looking for when you're here in the Valley, when you're looking for investors? And I think maybe the way to think about this is that as an entrepreneur, you're really not going to be working with just one investor. So when you're going through the fundraising process at the end of the day, you're really building a portfolio of investors. Just as how investors build a portfolio of startups, you're doing the same. And I think it's important to think about what kinds of investors you want within that portfolio that kind of tackle different areas and help you out in different ways. So if you're not based here in Silicon Valley, it might be helpful to have someone who invests in different markets so that they understand how to help you grow and expand into new markets. But it also might be helpful in talking to VCs who are really focused on building and investing in companies based here in the Valley, because then the benefit is they'll encourage you to come out here and tell you about all the different things that happen. And I think the benefit of being in the Valley is just that you have access to all of us, really all of us who have different investment theses, different focuses. And so I think definitely take advantage of that and get to know different folks and see what is a good fit for you.
As we go further down the line, there'll be less creative things to say. So, as a representative for Hewlett-Packard Tech Ventures, we have a worldwide view. I don't think there's anything that would limit us from investing. I think our lawyers would prefer those 3 particular states that we would see the paperwork coming from in the United States when paperwork is going to be done. But as far as where the entrepreneurs are coming from, I don't think it's a limitation for us. We certainly have done things in many different countries and will continue to do that. But as my colleagues have said before, once you get to a certain size, they want you close. They're going to want to be able to talk to you. They don't want to be jumping on an airplane or doing weird hours. So once you're in town and you can work with their lawyers, work with their networks, work with their mentors, things will go much faster for you. So it'll be a hardship, but it's not impossible to get funding outside of your local zones. And as our gentleman said in the beginning, if you're focused on just a local market problem, you're not going to get traction. Once you start looking globally and working at the North American markets, then it's much easier to get attention and get into that network of investors that you want to meet.
I'm not an investor, so I can't kind of give you direct advices, but we're living in great time, and where inventions and all startups has great opportunity, and you can look at, for example, Tesla, when I'm working right now. So and it's huge amount of investments here, and also a lot of great ideas, and I wish you all luck, and to your new endeavor became so great as Tesla or bigger. Thank you.
I mean, I think the panelists did a great job. There's just one couple of things to add. So one thing is there's a distinction between a company not based in Silicon Valley, meaning that the development is done elsewhere, and development could be done anywhere, Ukraine, Latvia, it could be done in Nigeria, and the founders not being based in Silicon Valley or the US and being first-time founders. Because I think ultimately, I call it the venture spring break. You know, like 3 co-founders pack their bags in Paris or in Kiev, come to Silicon Valley for a week, take every meeting with an investor or somebody who looks like an investor that they can, take pictures in front of Facebook and Twitter, expect the term sheets to be signed. Term sheets are not signed, they're getting drunk on a long flight home and they're disappointed. In reality, like any relationship, be it a personal one or a business one, it takes time. And long-distance relationships don't really work too well statistically, neither does long-distance fundraising. So I think that there comes a certain point in your startup's development where if you're dedicated, if your business model is dependent on raising venture capital, and venture capital is not available in your country, and you do want to raise it from Silicon Valley, you have to come here, and you have to be here for a pretty prolonged period of time, if not moving here permanently. Because I think that what typically tips the needle in companies that are otherwise fundable.
Once Sergey Brin said that absolutely there is no sense to come to Silicon Valley to start a startup because everything is very expensive here, and it is much better idea to start a business somewhere else and then to come here on the growth stage. What is your opinion about that? What is a good time for startup to come to Silicon Valley? Does it make sense to come here and look for pre-seed rounds? Tell us, please.
I don't think there is a response that fits every situation. I think there are several things to consider. I think being here, in addition to being close to VCs and being close to sort of for governance purposes, the key the real reason for being here is that it gives you the perspective which you would be otherwise lacking if you were not here. If investors are very much focused on this concept of pain point, right? It's really whether you understand a need for your solution. What's driving the need? What are the solutions are failing to solve? Why are you able to solve it? And it happens that perspective can only be acquired from within. It rarely can be acquired from the outside. So being here for an extended period of time, unlike a sort of a spring break format, sometimes really helps you develop that understanding. And with some of our companies that we help kind of migrate, we see the evolution of that understanding, which sometimes take the form of a pivot or pivots. Sometimes it just makes their understanding a little more acute and better.
Actually, I could tell you from my personal experience, our first startup we built in Israel, we built our proof of concept, we built some initial group of people, 4 or 5 people. And we move once we have some basic technology built up. And for first startup, it probably was the smartest decision because on one hand, in home country, it's much easier to build a core team and cheaper to build technology because it's always cheaper in your home country. But every day after you build a prototype, when you spend outside of Silicon Valley, it's a wasted day because the moment you have something, I'm not saying product, but something which show direction of your product, which show direction of your company, you have to move here. It's not just because investors. It's what we call human ecosystem. Every day you're going to drink a cup of coffee, you meet people, you talk, you exchange ideas. It could be business ideas, it could be technological ideas. It could change future of your company drastically just by meeting right people in everyday environment. So for first startup, I do believe that yes, it's better to build something in your home country, but moment you feel that you're on the right track, move to Silicon Valley. It's certainly different when you're building second and third startup because you already know people, you're already part of the ecosystem, and it's change.
I think there are many situations and ways of how to approach this issue, but if I would talk about the ideal one, it would be probably coming here before you build your startup. Come here to study, for example, come to Stanford. So what will you get? You will get a great network of people where you can source ideas, where you can find your co-founder, and then you can drop out like Bryn did very easily and start your company. But by the time you do that, you already have a brand name of, say, Stanford University behind you. You already know a lot of people. You have you know probably some investors who can vouch for you, or people who studied with you and can give you a reference and can make an introduction to investors. So the earlier, my point here is that the earlier you come here is actually the better, because you're building your network and your reference points, which are very important in your relations with investors, in your ideas in building companies or anything that you're building. So, I mean, Sergey gave some advice, but at the end of the day, he was completely on the opposite side of what he advised. So I suggest follow the example, not the advice.
So I definitely agreed with the opinions shared before. I think the only thing I have to add is that it also depends on what product or service you're building or offering. Because at the end of the day, if you're building enterprise software, then over kind of generally speaking in terms of corporates, about 80% of their needs overlap no matter kind of what country they're based in. But it also depends on whether or not there are language barriers, right? If ultimately you're selling to the market here in the US, then it simply doesn't make as much sense for you to be based elsewhere. I think a really good example of this is I was chatting with another friend who was running international expansion for Dropbox. And his opinion or his kind of shared case study of how Dropbox was able to expand so quickly and be successful in these new markets is that oftentimes it made all the difference to their customers when, you know, Dropbox kind of the customer service person on the other side of the portal, when they were asked, well, where are you guys based? And they said, here, wherever the customer was, it just built a completely different layer of trust. So imagine if you were serving European customers and you were only based in San Francisco. I think generally speaking, there's a lot of distrust because they see a lot of data being leaked from here in the US, right? And then vice versa, if you were serving customers based here in the US and then you tell them that you're based somewhere in Europe, then the biggest question is, well, are you sure that you understand our needs here? So I think it depends on what product you're building. And then again, if you're building something that is consumer focused, be in the local market. If you're building hardware, you probably should be in Shenzhen because that's where you can get access to cheap hardware, right? So ultimately, it also depends on your product.
I think another way to describe that is you need to be bathed in one of these clusters of innovation. They exist in Israel, they exist here, and very few places around the world have this grouping of lawyers and venture capital people, the universities that are feeding into the system, and all these networks that are being built. If you're isolated from that, you can only do so much within your home country, and then you need to be injected into one of these systems where everybody is networking together. In Silicon Valley, there's probably 50,000 director-level program and product managers you can reach out to and start working with who actually know how to deliver products. It's not going to be easy to find that type of thing in an isolated area where you don't have these clusters of innovation. So you need to get into them as soon as you get past that point where you think you have a minimum viable product, and get over here and find hostels or roommates or whatever it takes, but you can't stay out away from here for too long.
Every situation is different, and of course at the beginning, because of internet and availability of information, you can start kind of grow your idea at any place, of course. But if you want to grow big tree of company, then you have to be in area when it's actually much easier to build something, because if you live in some rural Ukrainian village, probably it's a low chance, right? If you're here, it's a much, much bigger opportunity. So this is my opinion.
Well, I think everybody answered the question, and I can give one example when I think it's a horrible idea to move to Silicon Valley. And that's when you have a good, viable business in your local market, because your local market is way behind the US in terms of innovation, and you're making money there, and everything's cheaper, and you're doing just fine, but you decide to go to the US and conquer the US. True story without naming names. Company sells tickets in an Eastern European country, tickets online, making a very nice business for themselves, a couple of $1 million a year, decide to come to the US and compete with Eventbrite and Ticketmaster and StubHub. End result, they lose the business in their country, and they never get the business off the ground in the US because the time is 10 years too late. So it depends a lot on what you're doing.
I have a lot of questions, but probably it will be my last, and then we pass a word to our guests. What is the best way to look for investments in here? To write letters, to ask for introductions, or what? What is the best way? To pitch on events like ours?
Well, all of those methods sort of work, and they all work in concert, because really having a dialogue with an investor is very much like dating. It's never done in one date. Looking back at the companies that we invested in, I would say the vast majority of them were referred to us by people in our network, and the reference can be from an entrepreneur we know, from another VC, from a person whose opinion we trust, like a technologist or a professor. But having said that, also a lot of those companies were in our purview by way of presenting at various venues, sending their things to, we tracked some companies for 2 years. And some companies over those 2 years changed a lot. True story. A company that started as a coffee delivery with drones ended up being, a company that uses drones to do construction surveillance. So that happens over time, and as the stories evolve, we kind of grow to like them. It's really a process.
I completely agree that. Probably the only way to get investor attention is to go through your personal network, because frankly cold call or cold emails virtually doesn't work. So you have or personal network or different conferences, and for me hard to resist to do a shameless advertisement. One of the network, it's a Russian-speaking association called Ambar. We actually built it just to help people who coming to Silicon Valley to be integrated into Silicon Valley ecosystem, with main goal certainly to get access to investors through chain of the human chain of introductions and human chain of verification. Certainly it's work both ways. People who doing introductions are usually people who already gained some experience in Silicon Valley, and they also helping investment community to kind of filter out whatever interesting or not, because you always, when you're doing introduction, you can share some part of your opinion, and certainly if you share some bad company, you're probably going to be cut off from this network. So it's work kind of in both ways, both community helping investors to get already filtered and somehow validated startup. On the other side, investor helping community to increase power of this network.
Well, the next I would mention would be our signature conference, which is called Silicon Valley Open Doors, svod.org, and here is, I'm sorry, I have to talk about it. You called me on stage. So the uniqueness of the conference, I mean, there are a lot of conferences taking place in the Valley, so why is it so unique? And the uniqueness is in the following. So first of all, it's a relatively small conference, so we limit only to about 2,000 people. Second thing is that we do not have any VIP rooms, so basically every person who comes to the conference, every entrepreneur can meet an investor or a speaker or sort of a VIP guest, because this person comes through exactly the same door in the same corridor as everybody else. The ratio of investor to entrepreneur is 1 to 2, so 2 entrepreneurs to 1 investor. We have so many investors coming. Most of the investors come from the sort of area of the Silicon Valley, San Francisco, Silicon Valley, but we also have a lot of them now coming from other parts of the world. So we have companies coming from different parts of the world. The same, we have investors coming from the different parts of the world. So there is a huge diversity. And so that's a great place to first pitch your company to the audience of investors, and also to attract attention of the investor and sort of incentivize the investor to want to talk to you more and more and get to know you better. The fact that we pre-select companies, so we have a huge application process. I mean, a lot of companies apply to pitch at SVOD, but we have judges who pre-select those companies, we coach them, so investors who come to judge our startups, they know that the companies that are pitching were already pre-selected, and so there is always more trust to companies like this.
As investors, I think we can all agree that some of our best investments came through personal introductions. And I think because that's the case, the bigger question here is really how. How do you get the best personal introductions to the best and most relevant VCs? I think the way to think about this is this. Figure out who the thought leaders in your industry are. Because if you make yourself visible to people who are thought leaders in your industry, if an investor wants to invest in a certain sector, well, who do you think they'll go to first, right? If I want to learn more about an industry that I'm not that familiar with, but I want to start investing, obviously I'll kind of take the first stab by going to people that I think really know this industry well. And that's when that person might then tell me, oh, have you seen X, Y, and Z? Because I think they're doing a great job in this area. And this isn't limited to kind of introductions to VCs. This is also just introductions to other people in the industry that you can be friends with, struggle together, or it can be broader than that, potential business partners. So I think it will be really helpful to kind of think about who in your industry are the right folks to just make sure that you know and make yourself visible.
So I try to use my networks as the primary source, but that network is pretty broad. So if you are coming in through one of the many trade organizations, San Francisco's full of them. You have the Israelis, Canadians, Brazilians, they bring companies in, and that's a level of vetting for me. Instead of someone who wants to put you on an airplane and fly you out here for a week, they probably think you have something going that wouldn't be if you just reached out to me directly. But I generally want to have a first level vetting of some kind from somebody else, so I'll take referrals in. But sometimes you have to go to someone like an analyst. So if I'm interested in cybersecurity, the guys who study that the most are the Momentum Partner guys here in San Francisco. So I'll go to them and I'll ask them what's new, what's coming out of stealth, and that'll be my source. But I do use people throughout my networks, but it's very hard to just come up to an investor at some event unless you've got to stand someplace and you're doing something in their area of focus, their thesis, to just kind of wildly reach out to them. So you need to build that trust through a third party, and those networks that we were all talking about are the thing to do. Be trustworthy, show up with a real product, be doing something that shows you're hitting milestones, and people will pay attention to you.
Yeah, I wanted to just follow up on that. I mean, I think for a small fund, for example, and my partners and I run a relatively small fund, doing maybe 5 to 7 deals a year. Almost all of our deals come through trusted referrals, people we respect, other entrepreneurs, co-investors. Every once in a while, we meet someone fresh and we do a deal. But typically what works is personal relationships. So the difference, I think, between dating and venture capital is there's no one-night stands in venture capital. If you're going to pitch me by the restrooms at some conference, chances are I'm just going to get annoyed and try to erase that experience as quickly as I can. So the one approach that I saw in entrepreneurs that works really well is using the initial encounter simply to introduce him or herself, exchange contact information, and ask if they can send something over email. You know, if I'm sitting somewhere on a Sunday morning and my kids are playing and I've got an extra 20 minutes, I pull out my iPhone and I look at a few pitch decks, perfect opportunity. Trying to squeeze me into a corner at a conference that I only showed up to because I already got 5 or 6 meetings at that conference, horrible idea.
Okay, does somebody have questions to our experts? No? Oh, yeah, we have.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ivan. I'm from Yakutia. It's somewhere in Siberia. And I have a question about the Silicon Valley. So I know I have a poor knowledge about this place, but have I got any chance for exist with a hardware project in medical fields? For example, I have a project with neuroprosthesis, and I will not present it in this startup battle, but I have another project, and I want to know, can I go to Silicon Valley with neuroprosthesis, and so what's the difference it will be from common IT projects? So that's all my question.
I think I understood the answer. You're saying you have a medical device idea, and you're thinking how pitching that idea would be different from a regular IT project?
Is it normal to open this hardware medical company in Silicon Valley, or in Silicon Valley can open just an IT or just another hardware company? I want to know only about if my project connects with medicine, it's normal to open in Silicon Valley.
There are plenty of medical device companies here. There are plenty of startups. I mean, the thing with technology these days is that you're really on the borderline. Unless you're doing pharma and unless you're doing drug discovery, you're probably doing something technology related in the medical field. So many funds that invest in tech also invest in medical technology. Now, not all of them, so your universe of investors is probably much narrower. And there are additional complexities of various certifications that do not apply to the tech world, so you need to understand the dynamics of it. But there are plenty of investors who are specialized, who have teams inside their VC teams that look at medical tech. So I think the answer is yes, and the same rules probably apply. I don't know if you would agree.
So one of the clusters of innovation for that kind of tech actually is around San Diego. There's a ton of it that's coming out of that area. The Evo Nexus accelerator is a good example of ones that love to take that kind of thing on, and that would be a good place to take a look. But you also have here IndieBio that do synthetic biology on Jesse Street. They're doing like kidneys that work. You know, I mean, so there's, excuse me. There's plenty of places to go here that can take care of that, but as you said, it's narrow focus, narrow thesis, specific people looking for it. You don't have to scour the world. There'll be a short list of places to go.
Okay, thank you now. Thank you, our experts. And now we'll have a short break. And Yulia, we have a mental. Yeah, you can go to your seats. And as I understand, we have Beware.
Dear experts, thank you very much for so nice, so cool discussion. And now we have Beware break. Anastasia Green.
Hi guys, my name is Anna, and before your breaks, you will have about 30 minutes break. And before you go on that break, I will give you some short Be Over Minute session. And for you to understand what we are doing, I'm a founder of technology company we call Be Aware, and we build a product for companies to make their teams more engaged and to make their teams more satisfied in the workplace. So basically, we are bringing happiness into the workplace. And besides that, we are doing this kind of small Be Aware Minute breaks in events and in offices, just to bring you some sense of what we are bringing into the office space. And I will invite you to stand up. I know you've been sitting for about an hour, so please stand. Put your amazing, lovely devices on the side for 10 minutes. I know it's a struggle, I know. Thank you, that's great. And I will invite you to move your body a little bit, just by turning your head to your right side, and turning your head to your left side, and again to the right side, and to the left side. And then just dropping your chin down. And we're doing it because when you're moving your neck, your blood is actually going to your brain much better. And then just slowly move it up. And now stretch your hands up, because we want to make our spine taller, and we want to feel better. Yes, please use both of your hands. Great. And then stretch them to the sides. Nice. And then stretch them forward. And now I would like you to switch your palm to the top as far as you can, and to the bottom as far as you can. And now give me this thumbs up and show me how do you feel from here to here. Just like somewhere in the middle, maybe like that. How are you feeling right now? What's your mark like that? Okay, good. So everybody is almost satisfied. Great. And now I just invite you to do some small observation. Since you had this beautiful session and this amazing panelists and speakers, you had so much amazing information. And I invite you to come back to your center, make a deep breath. Just inhale and exhale. And one more. Inhale and exhale. And think about one piece of information that was the most valuable for you during this panel, during this session. Just think. You may close your eyes. It actually helps to think better. And just find one piece that was the most valuable for you. Just remember it. And now think about one person who was on a stage, who you think was the most successful from your point of view. Just pick one or two. And now ask yourself, why do you think you decided that person is the most successful? among all those people who were on the stage? What kind of words or actions they were doing so they made you think they're the most successful? And come up with one thing that you will apply to your business from the pitch from the information, from the knowledge you just heard. Just one thing. And now understand that you have this intention. You will do it when you come back to your work tomorrow or maybe tonight. And coming back again to your center, make one more deep inhale. And now think about yourself, about why you are here today and tonight. How come that you are in this one of the most competitive and one of the most successful cities in the world? And why you are here? Why exactly you are here tonight? What is your goal here tonight? And think about bigger goal, like in general, why you're doing what you're doing. What drives you? Is it people around? Is it atmosphere? Maybe money or success? Whatever is important for you. And think about that one thing that you really, really, really want. Like you really want to have it. You really want to achieve it. And then make a deep inhale. And imagine that you already achieved it. And move your body in that position, how you would feel if you already achieve it. Feel your feet standing on the floor. You may shake yourself a little bit to find a balance on the right feet, on the left feet. Just shift balance a little bit. Feel your hips supporting your legs. Feel your body. Open your chest. Inhale deeper into your chest. And just enjoy the sensation of you already having what you want to have. Of your biggest challenge already being accomplished. And just know that today and tonight, there are a lot of people who can help you to achieve this dream, this goal. And it might be somebody who is standing next to you. It might be somebody in this room. And you have all the chances to talk and to meet this person tonight. Just by being open, being confident, and just by knowing what you want. And we're gonna come back again through the inhalation. Just make inhale, open your eyes, open your chest, and exhale. And welcome to Startup Bottle. Thank you. You may have your break now. Thank you, guys. Applause yourself.
Okay, I need help. Put away these chairs from the stage. Dear guests, now we will start a second part of event. So please take your seats.
Я скажу сейчас.
Мне уже дали ссылку голосовать.
А если что, у меня нет бейджа, я могу идти. А где сидеть? Да. Хорошо. Да, дело, конечно.
И на одной, и на второй презентации.
Да, хорошо. Света надо, потому что я сидел, я, понимаешь, некому, да? Оля только, да, может что-то сделать. А сейчас я вижу.
Александр. Dear guests, please take your seats. We are going to continue. Yeah, really, really. Several experts join us. Now with us, Nick Bilagorsky, founder and managing partner of 408 Ventures. Nick, nice.
Hi, it's very nice to meet you, everybody. I'm Nick. I've been investing since about 2011, mostly in Ukrainian companies and some cybersecurity companies. Just last year, I registered 408 Ventures, which is going to be focused mostly on cybersecurity. So very nice to meet everyone, and I look forward to learning about interesting startups today. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. And Mike Sandler, Chief Executive Officer, Epiphan Video.
Thanks. I'm founder and CEO of Epiphan Video. We moved to Valley after 9 years of operation. And so far it brought some success, being around that community. And it was an interesting question when we discussed before what age we need to move. I think we've done it in the right age, but we'll see.
Thank you, Mike. And one more expert. Let me check it. Where? Vadim Rogovsky, managing partner Wannabes and
Thank you. Hello, guys. So I have a successful company, Clicky. It's one of the biggest mobile app marketing platforms in Europe with more than 100 employees. And also I'm one of the founders of Ukrainian startup accelerator and seed fund Wannabes. We have invested small checks into around 15 startups, mostly with Ukrainian founders, but recently we started to look broader, for startups with CIS founders that are located worldwide. So nice to meet you.
Thank you, Vadim. And the best and the most interesting part of our event, it is, of course, startup pitches. And today we will be listening 8 great presentations and entrepreneurs come to us, join us from Ukraine, Russia, and Belarus. So first will be Nose Watch, then Finder, then MyCo, then ECM Garant, then Strategy Board, then Make Your Order, then Nexus, and Biosense and Mubert. And now, our first presentation of Nother Watch. Jan Rybachenko.
Hi to all, my name is Jan. I'm glad to open this competition and present you Nother Watch, the anti-sleep watch, the world's only device which can guarantee prevent unwanted sleepiness. Unwanted falling asleep is a problem, huge problem, treating a lot of people, every active person, not only professionals. Especially it affects drivers, pilots, operators, armed forces, police, students, all kinds of businessmen, politics, elder people, in fact, only second human on Earth. Every day it leads to different accidents and cause a lot of damage. Physical, financial, moral. Just in the USA, more than 100,000 car crashes a year. It's proved figures because unwanted sleep. A lot of deaths every year, and more of 100 million people reported their experience with this problem. All these industries need a strong and reliable anti-sleep standard. And now, many of you may want to ask, what makes Nother so awesome and attractive device for all of these people? So check out our new promo video, which will exactly show you what the Nother is. Please play.
Nother Watch, the first device with guaranteed anti-sleep effect. Learn more. Order now.
That's what I'm talking about. The ultimate, universal, ultra-effective and unique device. Before Nother there was failed models which not decide this problem actually. They has awkward sensors with dead-end principle to allow you to fall asleep and then try to wake you up. It was too late and was total disappointment for all of users. And Nother use active mind maintaining technology which can guarantee prevent falling asleep by increasing a level of nervous activity. We carried out a full-sized research with 31 volunteers and got result, insane result, incredible, decreasing of symptoms of sleepiness by 70%, which guaranteed can prevent any kind of sleepiness and microsleep with any and haven't any side effects with only $79 price. So we already have raised seed round and have done a lot of work. All necessary R&D, full function prototype, certification, tests, got patents and application in many countries, including the US. Publication in International Scientific Journal. Another protected trademark, protected in many countries, USA, China, EU, and many pre-orders via Indiegogo. Hired professionals to prepare the manufacturing, focus groups, information, and got figures for every sales costs. It's very good. I mean, really. One moment, please. We have full function prototype with all electronics to military standards. Stainless steel body, water protection, wireless charging, and other functions. So our team, I'm serial entrepreneur, then a professional in high-tech manufacturing, and PhD in psychophysiology, and many involved professionals. So, as I said, we already have raised seed round, and we opened for propositions to get best results in USA. Please, one second. We opened propositions for 10% of our shares. So you can get our expectations. I haven't any time. So I am ready for your questions. Please. Thanks for your attention. When you turn it on, it's guaranteed to protect you from sleepiness. So, it is. As I said, we have full-sized scientific research with 31 volunteers, and we have publication in journal in St. Petersburg. So it's, as you see, it is. As retail price, $79. It's, here you go. Here's the image, how it looks like. We already get a final prototype, pre-serial. So we're ready for, we have enough money for start sales in local markets. And it will be really soon. But we want to raise more funds to get to sales in the US market, to get 40 or 50 million valuation in 9 months. It's our expectation.
One more question. What stage of protection do you have?
Protection. Already we have a few pre-serial prototypes, which look like this one. And we're preparing for full-size serial production.
Do you have mass production?
We're just working with, we hired a specialized firm which helps us to communicate with OM, contract manufacturing, yes, and it will happen very soon. In what?
What makes you to believe that you can sell it for $79?
To people will. All right. We already have conducted. Yes, I understand. We already have conducted researches, market research focus groups, and we have near 200 pre-orders via Indiegogo. Yes, and Facebook target advertisement. Right.
My question is, why you sure without mass production?
Will cost so much.
How much it will cost? How much it will cost in your opinion?
It's in retail.
Cost. In retail 79, I see that. How much it will cost to use?
It's commercial information. We already got all the features for different kinds of quantities. For 5,000, 10,000, it's very different, and we got all the information. You may be sure.
What's your target price when you have a product?
I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. You can join me later.
More questions after all pitches. Thank you very much, Jan. And now I invite second participant. It's Finder, Katerina Stetsenko. Yes, wait. We will.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming for such important event. I want to tell you about our product, Finder. This is a standalone GPS gadget. It was specially designed for bicycles because we want to protect bicycles from the theft. Well, I love bicycles. I know many of you have it. So let's talk about this. Over 1.5 million bicycles are stolen every year, and 54% is on the streets. It's street theft. So our device shows your bicycles online. Device is hidden inside the bicycle. It helps quickly retrieve a stolen bike. Important thing that we have web service optimized especially for B2B. And one more thing, we can share the link, for example, for police. So who we target? We target bike manufacturers, corporate bikes, rental bikes, government and delivery. So let's look at this for the market. Our benefits, it's theft reduction, collecting big data, this is important, personal time tracking, health gamification inside companies, and it's reduced cost insurance. So my favorite pictures. So how it look like? We hide finder inside the handlebar, so no one except the owner knows where. So this is no one except the owner knows what is inside. We have active and sleep mode. It's controlled by vibration sensor, and it helps to keep long battery life. What Finder includes? We have hardware, we have web-based platform for B2B, and of course we have now customer support. Here are our competitors. It's Sherlock Bike, Tracker, and Boomerang. Our secret innovations, so Finder works via satellites and cellular network and send location data. Vibration sensor sends source message if the bike is touched without the owner. So we have, like I said, sleep and active mode. We have USB charging. And we have a personal account where we can see location and battery level, for example. Our advantages. We have, like I said, B2B service. You don't need to use any mobile or tablets. It works independently. It connects to mobile network. If the bike is lost, it sends help signals to other beacons, so someone could help you. Service allows to share a bike location. For example, you can send it to police, and police can quickly find it. So our communication channels, sports expo, communities, online video contents, social media, social video content. Also our sales channels, partnership with bike manufacturers, offline sales, e-commerce, consulting experts. About the team, I'm founder. I have a second founder. Okay, thank you. It works for 5 hours in active mode, and it works more than a week in a sleeping mode. So if you don't use your bike, yes, but you have notification. You will have a notification about the theft in that moment when someone is touching it. So you have time to do something. Okay, before making this, we analyzed it a lot, and we analyzed it a lot in the US market. And we were talking about, with communities by communities, with owners by owners, and everything what we've done, it was made with that analytics. I'm sorry. Oh, it's 1 hour. Yes. Yes, 1 hour. You know, the bike lock, it's not going to protect you because it's very simple to cut it. Yes, we analyzed that, and thieves they have 1 or 2 minutes to make it. They can make it in 2 minutes, so it's really fast. So our device can protect it. Yes, our device works the same like mobile phone, so we connect to cellular network. Yes, we have a paid subscription. It's for $3 in a month. Any questions? More? $80 for one. $80 exam. What? Yes, $80 plus subscription. Well, yes, that's the problem.
Okay, thank you, Katerina. And I invite on the stage Alexei Khomyakov, Maiko, Startup Maiko.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alexei, and I am presenting Michael. How do you expand your business network? How do you get new connections? You know, even here, if you don't raise a penny, building your network and expanding your connections matters. So I'm almost sure that you'll end up with a pile of business cards here. And you know what are you going to do with them? You're going to lose half of them, and you'll barely remember who is who in the remaining. So what are the contacts on your social networks? Like, are they truly contacts? Having 500 plus on your LinkedIn doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to do business with them because you never met them. So, and that led us to an idea. It doesn't work. Just a second. Вот это да. Да. Давай здесь тогда на компьютере. Yeah, it's still working. I don't know why. Let me try. Where's page down? Колесико есть, крутится. No. Okay, let me start from the beginning then. Okay, so the problem is that you primarily get new connections with the business cards that are pretty ineffective. And the contacts that you have on your social networks, they can be truly contacts because the majority of the people there, you never met them. So this led us to an idea to digitize the most common and widely spread gesture in the world, a handshake, with a microband. The microband is a smart band that allows you to remotely exchange contact data when you handshake somebody. So having band on your wrist, just forget about business cards and start saving all your new contacts in a completely different way and start manage them in a different way in Myco, which is a specially developed application that allows you to build professional networks between people, companies, and events, and providing base solutions for all of them. We are mainly competing business cards market, and since we recently obtained United States patent for our seamless technology of exchanging data, we're also protected from anybody else using the same technology. For instance, recently we identified a company called Shakedown based in Amsterdam. They was doing pretty similar stuff, and they were working with LinkedIn. So after we showed them their patent, actually they stopped doing that. This is absolutely true example. Our main market is event and event organizers with 120 million unique conferences attendees on a growing market with a total value of $150 billion. Out of 120 million users as a total addressable market, we pretty much sure that the obtainable market, serviceable obtainable market is 2 million users on an early stage. And this is the number we are using in our business model that is mainly based on band sales and rent, on sponsorship, and a premium subscription and micro application. And what is really important, like sharing our patented and protected API to other wearables manufacturers to make them able to exchange information when they handshake. So we're sure that we're going to grow from 20,000 users in our Myco network in 2017 to 2 million in 4 years, and we'll be generating revenue of $18 million per year by that time. And those excluding people coming from outside the conferences. That might be one of the biggest revenue line items in future. So we are searching for $1.5 million in the next 2 years, and having this money will enable us to produce the number of bands required and build our business in Europe and US for conferences. Here what is worth to saying is that as of now, 1,000 bands were produced in Shenzhen. We were able to get it for less than $10 per piece. The micro application is ready. We got a patent. And the bands were tested on 4 events already, and the statistics we got was pretty promising. This is second startup with our team. The first one was launched in 2014 called Art.biz, which is selling arts, selling pictures through your virtual online personalized gallery. And so we are together for 4 years already, and that makes me sure that we're going to develop our project to the scale required. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
People already bring watches and Fitbits and all kinds of things on their arm, and you're competing for wrist-based now. What studies have you done to give you the confidence that people want to put one more thing on their body to do this, regardless of what the product is?
Well, that's actually a good question. But on an early stage, we are targeting very specified audience, which is like business people on a conference. And I don't remember the exact number, but I think it's like 1.5% were variables right now. So actually 98% they don't do this. And this is like a temporary device that on an early stage you'll put out just on the conference time. So it doesn't replace the fitness bands. It's just a handshake device for an early stage. And what goes next is that we got some interest from the wearables producers such as Swatch as of now that are ready to integrate our technology in their devices. This is a radio channel. This is a directed radio signal. Yeah, but the radio it detects the handshake gesture and sees another band on the distance of the wrists. Yeah, we got an accelerometer that wakes up when you do a handshake. Yes, by default it's sleeping to save battery time. Yeah, there are a few applications. They scan your cards and put directly to your phone book. But the idea was to use the most common widespread gesture and don't give extra habits to people. Make it so natural that you don't even notice that you do that. Say again, please.
Some countries handshake is not encouraged.
Yeah, there is such problem, especially like in Japan. They never do it; they just banned. So this is maybe version number 7 for Japan market. Yeah. Yeah, we have just come to think that it was like a specialized event and you handshake like 25 people. They all become pending in a micro application once you let's see, you're back to the hotel, you open the application and you see 25 pending contacts. Well, you just click each of them and the profile is organized is in a way that you will need more than 3 seconds to recognize what was the guy, who was he, to see his picture, his background, and take the decision whether you approve it or not. And your personal information becomes disclosed only after mutual approval. If one of you declines, you won't be able to get in touch with the guy. So that's why, you just become pending, you save all of them, and then you take the reasonable decision whether you need this guy or not. And after you both guys approve, you start networking in micro app. Say it again. Right. So the first idea is that on a partner events, there will be a designated place where the event organizer or event will just give the bracelets to its attendees, and by default, everybody on this partner event should be wearing it. Everybody should be with their hands on the conference. And if they handshake, they exchange contact data. Of course, you need to have 2. Or what I'm missing the question. Actually, we can discuss it later. If somebody else puts your band, nothing happens, because when you synchronize the band, they become connected. A band at a designated phone, it does work with a different phone though. You need to reboot the band to give him another ID. So it's your band. Nobody can use it. Yeah, please. Actually, look, I'll show you. Right now, just give me a second. Right now, can you put it like second slide? Yeah. Oh, so this is a true picture. So right now, this is a version number 1. So right now we were able to produce version number 2, and we just testing it right now. It's gonna be watch. It's gonna be pedometer. It's gonna be what else? Something like. It's gonna be this is gonna be a device for everyday wearing. Yeah. We produce 1000 in version 1, and we have just 2 prototypes of version 2. So just, yeah. It's $9.8 in Shenzhen. Yeah. We can discuss it after it, actually, no problem. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Really, we have 3 minutes for pitch and 4 minutes for questions. And this is our rules for everybody. Okay. Now I invite next startup. It is ECM Garant. Shauchenko Marina.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Marina Shevchenko, and this is my colleague Victoria Dolgaya. We are presenting Revoltech company. We invite you to join us to develop ECM Garant, a SaaS modular enterprise content system. Please watch a short video. Our goal is the tool for white collars, but not as just faceless staff. We strive to optimizing and simplifying the work of each single individual. In other words, every employee who uses ECM Garant believes that it is created for his or her personally, taking into account all their needs. Accounting to the idea, the system is going to be presented by 5 modules: documents, mail, HR and staff, messenger, calendar, and booking conference rooms. As for current stage, the document flow module is at its beta version, and HR and staff is at pre-alpha. The other modules, as well as mobile apps, are just at the starting point of the development.
Well, after carrying out marketing research of the most popular competitive systems and holding surveys among their users, we have found certain drawbacks. And of course, while thinking over the concept of ECM Garant, we took them into account. Thus, the main thing that unites most of the competitive systems are awkwardness and complicated usage, inconvenience in terms of use. Well, contrary to the competitors, we suggest a user-friendly solution that is accompanied by flexible integration, flexible tuning, fitting customers' needs, and transparent pricing policy. Firstly, we are targeting Firstly, we are targeting the local market, Belarusian, and then we are going to spread to Russia and Kazakhstan. Then, after winning certain audience, we are planning to, we expect further spreading of ECM grant abroad. And then we are planning also a multilingual version. Currently, it is presented only by Russian variant. Well, regarding the monetization of the product, it will depend on the number of employees, cloud in required space in cloud storage, and required models of this or that customer. The expected sum of the investment is $500,000, and this sum of investment is required for payment the resources involved in the project currently, and as well as for the distribution and for the sales of ECM grant. Thank you very much for your attention. Well, actually, this is a modular system. The main target of which is to automatize the processes, automatize business processes, and simplify the work of all the employees of any enterprise that deals with documents and that has employees. First of all, we are targeting mid and large-size enterprises, and the areas are absolutely different. This was illustrated on, could you please return on one of the slides. We are targeting any industry starting from construction, banking spheres, public sector. Yes, please.
So you said you target Belarus market first.
Yeah.
Russia, but what you're doing, does that exist in the US or is it?
Sorry, can you repeat?
US company that is similar to what you're doing?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course, there are a lot of competitors in US markets. There are also a lot of competitors on the local market. But the main thing that distinguishes us on American market, you mean? Just a moment. There is a very interesting system. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous. There are a lot of systems simplifying the work, starting from, I'm sorry. Sorry, can't remember right now. I'm very sorry.
It's our future plans.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, really, don't be so nervous, please, and try to explain what to do next time. Okay, now I invite strategy board. Dmitry Veritelnikov. You have water?
Hey everybody, my name is Dmitry Veritelnikov. I am the founder of Strategy Board. We had very informative mentor session yesterday. I have to change significantly my presentation and pitch. So I will look on my papers. Excuse me. Let me tell you some exciting facts about the e-sport market that is growing rapidly in the last couple of years. There are 210 million monthly active players who are playing competitive games. There are 665 million people who watch competitive games. Just in 2015, There are 36 million people who watch league finals. That is 10 millions more. That amount of NBA finals viewers, 26 million. All those people are spending a huge amount of money of their passion, gaming. All those people have a common problem. They want to get better and win. We came with a solution that helps them think strategically and focus on the team performance. Strategy board is the most convenient way to think strategically about your next game. Benefits. Outline the strategy, communicate it to your team, and make crucial strategic decisions together in real time. The product will consist of different set of features that will be available for free. And some they would be available with a subscription of $9.99. So, as for team, we moved our executive team from Eastern Europe to Silicon Valley. Our marketing director is already here. STO and myself plan to relocate in next 6 months. I have 8 years experience in gaming. I am one of the top competitive games involved. Besides, I represent the team of top players in different MMO games. We are extremely excited about this opportunity and looking forward to your question. Andrei Strizhin will help me in translator of question and answers. Thank you. Andrei?
So answer to the first question, they finished alpha. So for the 1020 case that they asking, they will finish the public beta. This is answer to the first question. What is the second one? Which one? Платформа нужна, чтобы с самими играми интегрированы?
Нет, нет, no. Web application, no API, no.
На основе каких данных ты делаешь
Ее сами команды заходят и сами строят.
The idea is that the team that participated in money games come to this strategy board and build their strategy according to the best practice they own and from another biggest team.
Просят микрофон
Are you familiar with Mobalytics and how they compete against you in the marketplace?
That was
Mobalytics — это мои друзья, и мы с ними сотрудничаем.
It's their partners. Mobalytics is a partner company.
Не слышал еще раз.
Mobalytics is a partner company. Yeah.
So you are a front end for Mobalytics in the markets that you're going into?
Но у нас сейчас идут переговоры о сотрудничестве. Mobalytics, они работают с конкретным игроком, мы работаем с командой.
Currently, they have a kind of negotiation about how they share the interests, and Mobalytics work with single players. They're working with the teams, so they kind of expanding their own kind of benefits, and probably will have kind of general strategy for the future. Some more questions?
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I invite next participant, make your order. Tsikhanovich Tatiana.
Hello everyone, my name is Tatiana Tsikhanovich. I'm CEO of Rivaltech company based in Belarus, in Minsk. Present product, make your order. Please, your attention on the screen.
Let me please tell you how an idea of creation of Make Your Order came to our mind about a year ago when Tatiana was staying at a small hotel at the coast of Italy. She was having a breakfast in a small restaurant in it, and when she was given a paper with the menu, interpreted with Google Translate, she had to tick off the preferable dishes without any understanding of the content of these dishes, and without having any idea about them, she thought, why not to create an application that would solve the problem that tourists regularly come across and simplify the ordering process in general. Well, the functionality of making of our multilingual interactive menu consists in not only ordering via interactive menu and reviewing the foods, reviewing dishes accompanied with descriptions, but also, I'm sorry, but also being accompanied by the easy-to-use interface that is adapted for old people and kids. It provides the possibility to leave feedback, and analytics for customer management. The market we are targeting, as for the current situation, we are close to produce a beta version of our application for making pre-orders. As a next step, we are planning to produce an app that would substitute the paper menus at all. Then, after winning certain audience, we are planning to produce a mobile application that will be available on the stores. This is the app with geolocation that would inform the customers about the places, about all the nearest restaurants. It will also inform about the special offers, about current special offers, and also it will allow them to make pre-orders via mobile app, and also make payments of these orders via mobile application. As for the first of all, the market we are targeting at first is represented by the restaurants and hotels at the coasts of Italy, Spain, and UAE. Then we are planning also to spread our mobile application for other establishments related to customer servicing. In general, our product Make Your Order contributes to the following benefits. It allows to reduce the time of consuming by about 20%. It eliminates order-taking mistakes. It promotes to greater customer loyalty, and also it extends brand value of a restaurant. As for the monetization of our interactive menu, it will depend on the number of features that this or that customer will prefer, and also on the conditions of further technical support. Speaking of a mobile application, the income will come from the amount of checks that the customers, that the users of our app will make via application. Okay. Yes, please. Well, actually, there are partial competitors. There are partial competitors on the local market and also abroad. However, none of these applications do not duplicate our functionality to the full extent. For instance, there is a Russian competitor, Menu for You. However, it has similar interactive digital menu, and also they have mobile application. However, in terms of mobile application, they moved in a bit another direction. They decided to simplify the work of administrative staff presented by manager and waiter. It allows them to gather the analytics, gather the information about customers' feedback, etc. In comparison with them, we are targeting to simplify the ordering process for guests first, and then to simplify the process for the employees of this or that restaurant or hotel. Speaking of foreign competitors, there is quite good application. Smart Menu. If I'm not mistaken, it is of German origin. However, the main disadvantage of this app is that it is only targeting German-speaking people and French-speaking people. In comparison with them, we have multilingual application that is translated, that supports 7 languages. Well, actually, our company produces, currently is working on these 2 projects, ECM Grant and Make Your Order. This is just one branch of our activity, and also there is another branch that is related to outsourcing of IT services. These are our two areas of activity. Yes, please.
So I just wanted to remember, but I think you said that this is a lot. You've got 5 people who are going to make software for different hotel restaurants, and you're going to ask that restaurant to pay you 5% per order of food.
Yeah.
How do you scale that in a way that's meaningful? How do you get enough bodies to do enough work? You have to convince the restaurants here that they have to go, we're in very thin margins, that much money of their food order, and I don't see any, I mean, there's kind of this, as an investor, this kind of we'll charge you based on whatever looks difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to kind of figure out how you're going to make money.
Well, first of all, okay, as I already said, we have interactive digital menu for tablets, and in this case, we are going to sell a software. This will have a fixed price, depending on the features. If it's just an interactive menu where you may make orders and leave feedbacks, this is going to have a fixed price. Also, we can accompany it by entertaining content and some other additional features, some additional advertising that the owner of the restaurant might need. And then it will also fix price, but a bit higher. Then we will be able to, if you're interested, we will be able to provide you with the details of this price. In terms of mobile application, this is gonna for the first period, when we are winning this audience and we are filling in our application, we are going to have 5% from every check, as I have already said. And then we are going to provide subscriptions for the restaurant owners who will figure in our app. Yeah. Well, actually, the restaurant owners invest only once in all these in tablets and in the admin tablet where they will get all the orders. Oh, well, they will get all the orders. Then, if they need to update the menu or add some additional dishes or something like that, add some additional special offers, they do not need our technical support in it. They can do it by themselves via admin panel. Of course, we are providing the services of technical support to our customers. However, if they don't need it, they may do them by themselves. They can add this functionality of these dishes and update the menu by themselves via admin panel. This is not very difficult, and most likely they will not need our technical support further.
Thank you. Please, next participant, Popov Ivan, Startup Nexus.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ivan. So, how are you? It's okay? Yeah, fine. Today I want to present to you our project about the development of new type of medical instrument for laparoscopic surgery. So, before I start, I want to ask, do you prefer the high qualified medical service, medical help? Yeah? So if you have some illness, you want to get a real high rank treatment. Okay? Now, surgery is the most difficult field of medicine, and where the results of operations depends on surgery's experience and conditions for him. So the results for success operations, every surgeon needs an intuitive control with their instruments, and especially when we talk about laparoscopic surgery. So it's the main problem in surgery now, except the price. Oh, sorry, I forget about my presentation. So at this moment, in the world practice, we have only two kinds of instruments. So one of them is a handheld manipulator. It's on the right side, and the robot Da Vinci by the Intuitive Technologies on the left side. The robot particularly solved the problem with controlling, but it's acquired lots of many other problems, like a big price and long preparation for it. Long preparation for operation would be unforgiven with emergency operations. So this is a small statistic of how many instruments and complex sold every year, and so we see that it's only statistic in Russian markets. So you can get about the world market. It's more than 5 or 7 times. So it's our the FlexDex. It's our direct analog. Yes, it's also they also wanted to combine all advantages of robots and handheld manipulator, and they just they done these instruments, and it would be really great instrument, but unfortunately they have a real big disadvantage and it's about this their bracelet controlling. So I talk later about it. Okay. And about this table also. So we develop an instrument what can solve all the problems and advantages of robot manipulators and handheld manipulators, and it could be more intuitive and more free for surgeons. At this moment, this tool is prototyping in Amsterdam, so unfortunately I haven't got any chance to show you our project. So if we will have some cup of tea, I can show you our 3D models of photos. Yes, we have it. So our project have 360 degrees movements. It's easy to use, and also don't need so long preparation, which we have in Robot Da Vinci. So the business model is simple. It's a B2B business model, and we aim to low or middle rank clinics. So we have two products. We want to sell just a complete of only instruments for $100,000 and the full endoscopic complete for $200,000. This is our team. Our team consists only at this moment of 3 persons. First, it's Petr Neustroyev. He is a general surgeon, PhD, and he worked over the 15 years, and he have really huge experience in this field. And second, it's me, and I'm something like a technical manager. I project in these instruments. And we have Andreas, who work with our prototype in Amsterdam. So he worked in Blue Larix company in Amsterdam. So if we have a really good conditions, we will finish after 12 months. So it's a common roadmap. I think you know it, so I will not describe it in details. We have also the company Cadence, which could help us to make a serial production. Yes, I know. I finished. Just Yep.
Control with a joystick.
Yep.
If you haven't built it yet, what stage are you in right now?
We're making the prototype now. At this moment, we have a working model. We already used our working model in Yakutsk, but we want to make a real working prototype. The first working prototype, and to make some clinical expertise, testing. Yep.
Do you have any advisors on your group that will help you get into the hospital chains or help you with knowledge about how to get FDA Class 2 certifications or anything beyond the physical mechanical pieces? Is it just the 3 of you guys, or do you have a group of people that are at the next level up who've already been at a Siemens or a GE or a Philips who have done medical devices?
So if you see our team, we have one surgery that know everything about robotic surgery and so about the manipulators, and he also advises us what the instruments he wants to work with. And Andreas is he is responsible for design and ergonomics of our prototype. So we have enough professionals to make a working model.
Get the machine done. It doesn't help you get it into the places that are going to pay that kind of money.
No, we've already thought about how we can certificate, and we will certificate our model in Russia. So after that, we will go to the to the world. Okay.
No, just continue that question. FDM certification is a different process, nothing to do with Russia.
I know.
And the question was, do you have specialists in that field, as far as I understand the answer? You mentioned innovative technology, the reach robot chemistry. Do you have connection with them? Do you work with them? Do you know them? Do you have any feedback?
Yeah, yes, we know them, and Piotr also. Huh?
Do they know you?
No, they don't know us, and.
I'm selling my video equipment to them the last 5 years.
Mhm.
I know what they need, I know what they want. That's all. I just don't understand what you have and what your technology, but I don't understand.
Okay, thanks. Sorry. Okay.
Thank you very much. And our next project from Ukraine, Andriy Karpyuk, Biosense.
Hello everyone, I'm Andriy Karpyuk. I'm CEO of Biosense company which develop IoT solution for rapid diagnostics of food safety. All you know that in our food there is many bad things, something like pesticides, antibiotics, bad bacteria and toxins. And today I want to speak about mycotoxins. 25% of all crops in the world are affected by mycotoxins every year. It's the information from United Nations Food and Agricultural Organization. And it could affect 5 million farmers only in the US, in the European Union. And the all food burn is about $1.4 trillion only in the US. But go downstairs and just imagine that all of us, not investors and not IT specialists, we're just farmers, yes? And if we have some mycotoxins in this feed, our pigs or chicken can die, and it will be bad for you and for all of us if we will eat this food. So, what we can do? We can go to the laboratory and to make diagnostics for these mycotoxins, but it spends from 3 to 7, maybe 14 days. Or we can buy this equipment, but cost of this equipment from $20,000 to $80,000. Our solution is a mobile device which works with test strips. This test strips is a result of our scientific research from Ukraine, and mobile application, and we have a web application for storage all of that information. For today we work with one of the biggest agricultural company in Ukraine. We have a pilot project. It will start per 2 months. And on this year we plan to sell 100 devices. If you are interested in how we will plan to make money, we plan to sell these test strips for diagnostics. It's like a Gillette business model. About our competitors, we have it and we know it. as you saw, the more nearest competitors to us, it's, for example, Australian company. They can measure it per 15 minutes, but they cannot do it in the field per yourself. We have a very strong team. A few words about this guy. It's Nikolai Starodub, who established scientific research in Ukraine 30 years ago in biosensorics field. He's in our team. So, why we are here now? Actually, for today we don't need money. Actually, we want to understand US market when we, because we understand that maybe maybe 2 years later, we plan to go to the US market, so we want to find key partners in the US today. So, our company believes that we save health, and we want to give people confidence that they eat or produce healthy food for them and their children. Thank you very much. Yes? Actually, in this project, it's mycotoxins. Yeah.
Is this a spectrometer or is
No, it's not optical device. It's electrochemical biosensors.
it like a microfluidics based? Okay. So, are you? Yeah, that's it.
How reliable is accuracy test?
Accuracy is about 95 to 90%. It's more higher than in the market today, but when we will go to the market, we want to have accuracy about 95%. And for that, we will make some scientific research now. Yes?
Sounds like your main customers are farmers, right?
Yes, in this solution, yes.
What does the solution actually allow farmers to do? Let's say they discover the mycotoxins in their corn. What do they do?
Actually, if it's in the feed, yeah, they didn't give this feed to their animals. For example, if it's a corn, actually I'm not specialist on that, but all I know is that if it will be higher temperature, they can fix it. But from my side, it looks like that. Thank you very much.
Okay, and the last startup today is Mubert. And I invite on stage Kochetkov Alexei.
Hi everyone, my name is Alexei, and I want to introduce you Mubert. Can you please make quiet? Mubert is the first electronic dance music composer. It's not the radio, it's the algorithm that composes music in real time. Right here, right now, Mubert composes music for my presentation. Mubert is the algorithm that composes the infinite, interactive, and unique sound stream that you can use in any case. Mubert is the synthesis of system and abstraction. It's the mix of music theory, mathematics, neural networks, and machine learning. Moobert is the very powerful team that consists of 12 persons, and every day we create something that yesterday didn't exist. Moobert is the social platform that unites music lovers, entrepreneurs, sportsmen, and musicians and other creative units. You can use Moobert in any cases. For example, you can use it. The music of artificial intelligence is legal free, and you can use it in public places. Also, you can use it in YouTube videos, in game development. For example, you can use it for fitness or some sports exercises. The passion of electronic music has built the largest music market ever. The total value of streaming is about $40 billion. We want to become the big players on this market together with Spotify, Apple Music, and Pandora. Today, Moobert is the web application that composes music in real time. It's the community of 30K persons, 30K users. We have presented our technology on different festivals, on different cases. The next step is building the algorithm that feels your mood, feels your temptation, feels your location, speed, heartbeat, and composes music in real time for your lifestyle. It will become your musical DNA and indispensable part of your life. Thank you.
What are they going to pay? How much do you get to retain?
We are building a very powerful technology that can be used in any cases together with that music that already exists. So if we have yeah. We want to make some deals with Pandora or Spotify or Facebook or any cases. Yeah. Well, the venture startup, yes. Yeah. We are building the platform that can be used in any case you can imagine. The mechanics of this algorithm allows you to use any input and to have the musical output. So if the musicians or some producers want to make, for example, music for jogging or music for something, for music for sports, they can make this. They can tag their stuff with this way, and this music is composed with small pieces of samples, loops, MIDI files, and they are all tagged. And together they make the stream that is very similar to your tastes, because we know it from any case, from anything. Yeah. Yes, Facebook profile, Spotify profile, anything that you can connect to our algorithm. Our music is functional, and it's the main point of this to be better than any producer stuff that is on Pandora or SoundCloud or Spotify. this music is very useful. This music is very similar to you, and it's very close to its listener. For example, yeah, I saw them, but yes, of course, it's the competition. Yeah, we're also free. The business model is to build the great technology that we can sell for large money. Yeah, of course. The technology, the infrastructure, the database of music samples, and this all. So, that's it.
Dear guests, it was last project for today, last startup, and now you will have ready chance to experience BAV Interactive, which will be guided by expert Anastasia Green. She promised to hack our mind and kick off the networking part of event. Please. And experts, please vote right now. Mitchell Winstock, please vote, everybody. And after the Anastasia, I will announce the winner of today's startup battle.
I would really want mentors to join as well. How much time do you need, guys, to vote? Or you're already done? Okay, guys. So first vote, yes. And everybody who are in the room and who are sitting. So right now it's time for you actually to stand up and come to the stage. And I'll explain you what to do. So just come here, don't be shy, come here. You're already done with sessions, you're already done with listening. Come up here, you're gonna be doing networking. Why everybody's so shy here? Yay! Thank you. Guys, come here. It's networking time. It's no lectures anymore. Don't be shy. Nobody's gonna bite you. It's already not performing, not participating, just talking to each other. And everybody who is already here, please split in a group of 3. Groups of 3. Yes. Yaroslav, come here. Alex, come here. Guys, it's networking. Don't be sitting. It's not going to be nothing coming out from the stage anymore. We need girls here. Guys, join. Yes, of course, everybody. Just like everybody, literally. So guys who are doing startups, look at the stage. You have investors, you have mentors right now who you have chance to talk to. Don't sit, just join right now. Okay, join please the groups of 3. Groups of 3, perfect. We have like a perfect number, and it would be really better if you mix. If you join the group of those who you don't know yet. So if you can mix between each other, it would be really great. Yay, great, thank you guys. 3, group of 3, group of 3. Okay, we have 1. Let me help you. Can I split you guys, please? This is your 3 group. Come here. This is your 3 group. This is your. Okay, this is your 3 group. 3, and I need 1 more here. For this amazing. Your 3. Can I take this amazing young gentleman and give you? I need 1 person here, who is brave enough to talk to this amazing, beautiful venture capitalists and angel investors right here today. Perfect, join. So for you guys, I have a small task. You'll be working in the small groups of 3 right now, and just introduce to each other. You'll have 2 minutes to introduce yourself. And the next task for you will be to answer the question, what made you to become an entrepreneur? When was the moment in your life when you made a decision to become an entrepreneur? And I'm sure it was a long time ago. And I just ask you to share the story with your group. So each one of you just tell the story why you decided to become an entrepreneur back then. What made you to become an entrepreneur? And just start sharing right now.
Which language do you speak?
Depends on the group, but better English. And when you guys finish, give the person who finished the story high five, so I know that you finished. Thank you. Done? Guys, everybody done? Just last one, finishing. Okay, great job. And your second small task will be, so hopefully you just heard the personal story of your group. And I invite you to use your creativity and give, as a group, for everybody, give the name of the story of this entrepreneurial journey as it would be a book. So imagine I told my story. I came from Ukraine, blah, 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 doing startups, struggled, came to San Francisco, rise, and how you would name the story of the book, as it's the title of the book. So just come up in a group with 3 creative books of the story of each one of you. So you're coming up with the title of the book of the entrepreneurial journey of each one of you. Whatever you feel like. Whatever you feel like. English is better. Смотри, то есть вы поделились историями друг друга, правильно? Придумайте название этой книги, как будто бы это книжка. То есть вы взяли эту историю, написали ее в книгу и придумайте название этой книги. Для тебя, для тебя и для тебя.
Слушай, я придумаю сам себе или я ребята придумаю?
Не, лучше, чтобы ребята придумали тебе. Фейсбук, моя бизнес-карточка. Как с тобой связаться? Анастасия Грин, Фейсбук.
Не, на фоне, как они занимаются. Не, на фон, когда ты прямо снимаешь, видно задник, видно все.
Тебе хочешь, вот мы общаемся, мы позируем.
Сейчас, здесь. Настя, позируй. Не, вот это будут называться, это сколько? Не, я не тороплю. Спрашиваю, просто мне интересно, сколько это будет. Why you don't look fast?
Try to come up with the name of the book that can become a bestseller. So imagine you're an author and you actually have to make a bestseller. You know what to do?
We weren't listening.
So we were just sharing.
Я третья.
Group of 3. So we were answering the question why you decided to become an entrepreneur. Or in general, like disrupt something in your life. When you made that decision, why you made that decision? What's your story of that? You done? Question? Так, у вас закончили? Все на русском говорят. Вы закончили?
What?
Придумайте окончание этой книжки. Для каждой книжки. Это последнее задание. То есть у вас сейчас есть pre-story, у вас есть story, уже она вот сейчас. У вас есть название. Придумайте конец этой книжки. Какой вот в ней будет такой эпик. Ну, я думаю, что в вашем случае это в будущем.
3 книжек или одной?
3 книжек. То есть у вас сейчас creative collaboration. И вы можете вашу историю придумать в ней какой-то очень классный, интересный конец. Все вместе.
Ее потом надо будет рассказывать?
Ну, как вы захотите, на самом деле. Захотите поделиться, можете рассказать. Если там будет убийство и
что...
Конец у каждого свой.
У каждого свой, я думаю. IPO, все дела. Практически. Ну, я mindfulness coach, но вообще менеджер. А менеджер это вообще психология. Скажу большое с удовольствием.
Беспредел.
Закончила?
Да.
Думаете теперь для каждой книжки happy ending?
А, у нас 3 книжки.
У вас 3 книжки. А у вас одна уже?
Одна есть, да. Тогда надо вторую. Я понял.
У каждого книжка, у
Ну,
каждого
давай тебе
история.
придумай. Давай, да.
И happy ending, видимо, история.
Happy ending?
Для каждого из вас какой happy ending? Это же ваши книжки. Это как автобиография.
А у нас драма, Настя.
Драма?
То есть мы как бы, ну, начали, вспомнили, когда все началось. Это начало, а конец что?
Ну, а теперь придумайте, какой конец. Ну, вот ты
Та
когда-то
история
начал
давно
свой-
закончилась.
Но у тебя entrepreneurial journey. Она же продолжается.
Я понял.
И какой у
Какой
тебя
конец?
вот идеальный
Да,
конец? Где-то, может быть, у кого-то это там лежать на пляже с кокосом, у кого-то это IPO, и там офис 300 человек.
Ну, понятно.
Я просто послушаю. Просто послушай, как у вас дела.
Давай, какая у тебя?
У меня какая? Ну как? Я сюда приехал, чтобы создать и продать компанию. Только я это сделал, тогда...
А что будет, когда ты сделаешь? Вот какой у тебя будет picture? То есть, что будет в конце, в последней главе? Ты продал компанию, точка.
Слушай, ну это будет последняя глава, начало новой главы, как бы. Дальше будет.
Я просто вас направляю.
Короче, получается, прекрасно, классно, проводить текстуры, короче, ситуация. Ты идешь по улице, пришла очень умная мысль, ты записал ее, и она сразу трансформируется в текст.
Как это называется еще раз?
Это Синстон.
Синстон, да-да-да.
Назар сидел тут основать.
У вас там хэппи-эндинги получаются в книжках?
У нас там свое тут.
Подумайте просто, вот вы сейчас делаете какой-то свой entrepreneurial journey, и подумайте, в чем его идеальный хэппи-эндинг. Просто какую-то картинку поделитесь, какой картинкой. Потому что у нас у всех, на самом деле, очень разная картинка идеального success story.
У нас IPO.
У вас тоже IPO? У тебя тоже IPO?
Идеальный success story — это Google 2.
Вот, хорошая тема.
Да, да.
Привет, я вас подслушала.
Я зовут Богдан.
Я Настя.
Да, очень приятно. Мы... Да, вот сегодня... Да, я
Зачем? Чем? Why? Answer question why. Вот что там?
Wearing things in their body. It's active so
Ну что? Что?
Хэппи-эндинги сформировались?
Только что был один. Придумали название, сейчас будет хэппи. Так а что мы сейчас будем рассказывать? Нам просто уже победителя надо объявлять, да?
Давай, сейчас Тео, товарищ.
Okay, guys, let's finish up. Hopefully you learned something new about yourself and about people you were talking with. И у меня такое чувство, что мне надо на русском говорить, потому что все говорят на русском. But I will speak English. So in your group, if you could pick one book that you like the most, and just share a little bit about it. So which one of those would become a bestseller among 3 of you? And just share it with our group today. And that's going to be our ending for tonight. And as an ice-breaking phrase for the networking event, just ask the name, for those who were sitting there, just ask the name of the book. So who can share the book? Who can come here and share the book with us? The story of the book, the name of it, the story, and the ending of the book. Just like a trailer, as you would put it in a movie. Guys, come on. Somebody could be brave. You're like, no, there's not me, not me. Come here, I know you can do it. Come on, nice. Go ahead. You can start from the name.
No, I think all of us read Eric Rice, How to Learn Startup. Who reads this book? Eric Rice, How to Learn Startup. Eric Rice, no? Eric Rice. I have never read this book, but many of my friends said that it's for entrepreneurs. It's something like must-have. Yeah. When I will come to Ukraine, I will buy this book and I will read it. Today I read the book from 0 to 1. I'm not finished read this book. When I finished, I make the post on Facebook with subscription.
So what's the name of your book?
My book? Actually, I don't know.
Come on, guys.
No.
Do you know the name of his book?
Well, I think from 0 to 100 works well for your book too.
From 0 to
Yeah, from 0 to 100.
Nice. Okay, good. Yes. Guys, what about you? What's your book? Name. Заканчиваем, да. What's your name?
My name is Alex. My book is 10 years in opposition.
Say again?
10 years in opposition.
10 years in opposition.
Yep.
Nice. Nice. Thank you. Okay, guys, what's your name of the book?
Entrepreneurs беспредел.
English?
Oh.
Entrepreneurs Without Borders.
Well, беспредел is not without borders. Беспредел is lawlessness.
Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. What's yours?
It's birth. Или рожденный интерпренером, можно так сказать.
Was born as a naturally born entrepreneur. Nice. Nice. Guys, you're the last one. What's your book name?
Okay, so my name is Bogdan, and the name of our book is IPO.
Nice. Okay, good job, guys. Thank you. Now Yulia will say the results of the competition. Thank you so much. You may come back to your seats. Or maybe the winner is here. So.
Thank you very much, Nastya. Anna. First of all, I want to say thank you very much to everybody who joined us today. Thank you to our experts and entrepreneurs. And I want to announce the winner. But firstly, I will say the third place. The third place is Nexus. Second place, Mumbert. And the winner of Intercontinental Startup Battle is... Ta-da-da-dum. Is... Biosense.
А где наш фотограф? Подожди.
Andrei already the winner, not first time. Very lucky, I see. We happy.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Andrei.
Good luck. Good luck. Thank you. And we wish you good luck and raise a lot of money and became a big and successful company.
Thank you very much.
And guys, once more, my congratulations.
Thanks. Thank you.
And now we can talk and network. Yeah, here. Okay, thank you, everybody.
T-shirts from experts and for entrepreneurs. Please. Давайте раздадим.
Какой там это размерчик выбирать, да?
По-моему.